In this lesson, we're going to talk about what your deployment options are when you're ready to move your application into production. I'll give you all of the links in the additional resources that you're going to need to read up on all of these, but for now I just want to give you an extremely high overview so that when you hear about them, you'll know what we're talking about. So first off, JHipster has its own organization at Docker Hub and provides a bunch of different Docker images. The JHipster Docker Hub project provides all Docker Compose files needed to launch all of these images easily. So there's different images for things like being able to install JHipster. You can use a Docker Hub image to install JHipster. It's just an alternative, but it's another option. You can set up JDL Studio offline if you're traveling or you just don't have a good connection and you want to be able to use the JDL Studio offline. There's an image for that. You can also create sample applications, whether it's with H2, MySQL, Elasticsearch, MongoDB, Cassandra, etc. There's also an image for microservices architecture that gives you a quick startup and creates a microservices architecture so that you can see how that is kind of laid out for you. You can also do production profiling and monitoring with the ELK stack, and so much more. So again, we get a whole bunch of things out of the Docker Hub organization. Next up, we have all of our deployment options. So first, we're going to talk about Kubernetes. This subgenerator allows you to deploy your JHipster applications to Kubernetes. Kubernetes is an open source system for automating deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. Next, Heroku. This subgenerator allows your deployment of JHipster applications to the Heroku cloud, and that's a very popular option. I can say with experience that I've used that before. This subgenerator, as far as Cloud Foundry goes, allows you to automatically deploy your applications to Cloud Foundry. And if you're following along, Cloud Foundry is from Pivotal, and that's the company that manages a lot of these Spring projects. Next, we have AWS. This subgenerator allows you to deploy your JHipster applications automatically to Amazon AWS Cloud with Elastic Beanstalk. This is just one of the options with the AWS, and this is actually in beta. I haven't actually used this option before, but there is another way to get it to AWS if you want, and that's Box Views. This will allow us to deploy our JHipster applications to AWS or VirtualBox, and that's because Box Views comes with first-class support for JHipster. Another one is Rancher. Rancher is a simple and easy-to-use container management. And finally, we have OpenShift. This subgenerator allows the deployment of JHipster applications to the OpenShift container platform or OpenShift origin. If you aren't familiar with OpenShift, this is just another way to develop, deploy, and manage our containers, and is brought to us by the company Red Hat. So as you can see, JHipster just doesn't stop when we're getting ready to take our applications into the wild. We have some nice options out of the box, and these Docker Hub organization, the different Docker images that we get out of there really help facilitate this. So these are kind of the deployment options. We'll look more into these as we deploy our own production application. But for now, as I said, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a high overview of these. So with that, let's go ahead and move on.